everyone. Today, we're going to dive into a truly fascinating topic. We're looking at a set of insights on how to achieve inner peace, but the answers found within might, honestly, surprise you. Let's start with the ultimate question. How do we find a state of inner peace that is truly unshakable? This is the question of the ages. However, the material we're looking at today offers an answer that is, well, a bit unconventional. You might first think of deep meditation, right? And you're not wrong, that is part of it. But what if I told you the answer also involves cooking, serving food, and realizing that your life is essentially no different from the screen right in front of you? You might wonder, what on earth do these things have to do with each other? Method 1. The structured ladder, the 4 dhyanas. Let's look at the first method. This is more traditional and structured. Think of it as a ladder leading towards stillness, step by step. This path is known as the 4 dhyanas, 4 stages of meditation. The first dhyana, directed thought and evaluation. Imagine you've become a spiritual detective. You become acutely aware of what is wholesome and what isn't. You observe your thoughts and actions and see their consequences clearly. For example, you see that every time I overeat, I feel terrible. When you see these cause and effect relationships with total clarity, you've stepped onto the first rung. The second dhyana, without directed thought. Once those lessons are fully internalized, you naturally move to the second stage. Here, the internal chatter stops. You no longer need to remind yourself, don't overeat, because you understand the harm so deeply that the craving doesn't even arise. Healthy living becomes your instinct. The joy trap of the third dhyana. You'd think it's smooth sailing from there, right? But this is where we hit a massive, unexpected challenge that defies human intuition. In the third dhyana, you experience a profound physical bliss. But here's the catch. Because this joy is tied to the body, you start fearing its loss. What is the ultimate loss of the body? Death. Ironically, a beautiful state of meditation can create a deeper fear of death because you don't want the good feelings to end. The key distinction: attachment-based joy, temporary, fleeting, and always shadowed by the fear of loss. Inner equanimity, stable, unconditional, and independent of external circumstances. This is true freedom. To reach that freedom, you have to let go of the good feeling of the third stage to reach the fourth dhyana, absolute stillness. Method 2. The shortcut, the screen perspective. Is there a shortcut? A way to change the rules of the game entirely, instead of leveling up through stages? What if we changed how we view the world? This is a core Mahayana Buddhist idea, treating everything as a dream. Think of it this way: trying to grasp anything in life is exactly like trying to reach into your computer screen to grab the words you are reading. You can see them, you can read them, but can you pull them off the screen? No. If you try, you'll just break the screen and hurt your hand. Our suffering doesn't come from not getting what we want. It comes from the exhausting act of trying to grab the ungrabbable. When you realize life is like those pixels on a screen, you naturally let go, and the inner struggle vanishes instantly. The fuel, service as electricity. Whether you climb the ladder or take the shortcut, you need fuel for the journey. This is the biggest plot twist of all. What is the fuel? Look at the history of the great Zen masters. What were their jobs in the monasteries? Master Geshan was the head of the kitchen. Master Zufan served the rice. Master Puhua went out begging for alms. Master Yanzu ground the flour. To an outsider, these look like menial, low-level chores. But the secret lies in the word merit. The material uses a brilliant metaphor. Merit is like electricity. It is the spiritual energy generated by serving others. When you sit alone in a room meditating, you are often consuming your own energy. But when you step out to serve, you are charging your battery. Those lowly chores were actually the power source for their awakening. The final requirement: sincerity. None of this works without one final ingredient: a sincere heart. Without a heart that is truly willing to endure hardship and seek the truth, all the techniques in the world are useless. There is a humorous but profound metaphor for an insincere practice: blowing into a net to try and fill it with air. Imagine trying to blow up a fishing net like a balloon. Every breath you blow in immediately leaks out of 1,000 holes. That is what effort feels like without sincerity. Total waste of breath. Reflection. Before we wrap up, let's bring this back to your own life. Is there a task in your daily routine that feels menial or boring? Maybe it's making coffee for a colleague or quietly cleaning up at home. Is it possible that the very thing you look down upon is actually the greatest source of power? The perfect opportunity to recharge your journey toward inner peace. It's definitely something worth thinking about.